Hey, Rob here for Quadratech.com. Today we are talking power tanks. I'm going to answer some of the most frequently asked questions we hear here at Quadratech regarding the power tank systems, as well as go over some of the features and components that make up the system and just how you can benefit from having one in your Jeep. Now, of course, a power tank is a standalone system that delivers compressed CO2, allowing you to complete a variety of different tasks and jobs. Everything from running the air lockers in your axles to airing up your tires at the end of a day on the trails, or even running air tools for those trailside fixes. Because it is a standalone and portable system, not only can you take it with you when you're headed out on the trails, but you can also take it out of the Jeep and bring it into your home or your garage anytime you need a source of compressed air. Now, one of the biggest questions we hear regarding the power tank systems is whether it is dependent on having an onboard air system in your Jeep, like a mechanical or an electronic compressor. And the answer is no. It has been designed to be a standalone system. And that means it's not reliant on that compressor, which could break down or become inoperable when you're out on a trail. Of course, dust, dirt, and debris can build up in compressor air filters, or maybe a deep water crossing can short out your compressor, leaving you stranded without a source of compressed air. And that's one of the biggest benefits to having a standalone system like a power tank here that's going to be a very reliable, on-demand source of air ready when you need it. And because a power tank is a standalone system that's not reliant on a compressor, you are going to have to take your tank to get filled at a local compressed CO2 supplier close to you. Now, there are some very popular options. Most are going to be welding gas supply centers or fire extinguisher repair shops, or even some local food and beverage distributors can supply you with compressed CO2. One of the most important questions you want to ask any of those suppliers before you take your power tank to them is whether or not they can complete the job of refilling your tank on site without the need for a tank exchange. Now, in addition to that, the next question we hear is just how expensive is it to get your tank refilled? It's going to range anywhere from about $15 to $30 on average, depending on where you live and the size of tank that you're filling. Now, speaking of that, the next question we hear a lot is how to pick the right size power tank for your needs. Power tanks are available in a variety of different sizes, ranging from the smallest being 5 pounds to the largest being 20 pounds. I have two examples here on the table. I have the 10-pound tank and I also have a 15-pound tank. Now, choosing the size tank for you is going to depend on a number of factors, ranging from just how you're going to be using it, what types of jobs you're going to be doing, to how frequently you're going to be using it. So a good baseline number that I can give you guys here is a simple tire fill up. If you're going to be airing your tires up at the end of a day on the trail, we can take a 37-inch tire, for example, that we're running 10 pounds of air out on the trail. Now, if we're going to be airing that back up to 25 pounds of air, we can do that job 27 times over with a 15-pound tank. So you can go from there. If you've got smaller tires, or maybe you're going to be hitting the trails less frequently, or maybe you've got larger 40-inch tires and you're going to be hitting the trails a lot more frequently, you can use that knowledge to decide whether a smaller tank is right for you or maybe a larger 15 or 20-pound tank is right for you. Now, in addition to that, of course, space is a concern. It's really easy to see the difference in size here between a 10-pound and a 15-pound tank. So depending on whether you're driving something big like a four-door Wrangler Unlimited or maybe even a Gladiator where you've got the extra space to carry a larger tank, if you've got a smaller two-door Wrangler, space may be at a premium and something like a smaller 10-pound or even a smaller 5-pound tank may be a very good fit for you. Now, speaking of carrying those tanks with you in your Jeep, if we get this out of the way, Power Tank does have a number of carrying options and accessories for you. They've got vehicle-specific brackets that are designed to mount your power tank behind the rear seat in your Wrangler. There are universal-style brackets that are designed to mount to any flat surface, allowing you to get creative in just where you're storing your power tank. There are even some soft carrying bags that allow you to not only carry but protect your power tank when it's outside of your vehicle, and also bring along all of your accessories to go with it. Now, speaking of accessories and components, there are a number of components that make up a power tank system and a variety of different accessories available to really allow you to get the full use out of your power tank. So if we start by going over a few of the basic functions and features of our power tank here and components, the main one being the Armor Coat tank. Now, all of these tanks are manufactured and tested right here in the USA, and they feature a heat-cured paint that's not only going to look great, but it's going to offer great protection for your tank. And they are available in a number of different colors for you to choose from, allowing you to maybe match your Jeep or pick one that accents it. Now, in addition to the tank boot at the bottom of the tank is going to offer some additional stability for your tank when you're using it. It's also going to offer some protection to the bottom of the tank when you're moving it around so that you're not denting or scratching up your tank. Also, speaking of protection, up here at the top, a very vital and important component in the power tank system here is the Power Grip Guard handle. Now, as you can see, this large handle completely surrounds our valve on the tank as well as our regulator, and it also functions as a convenient storing place for our hoses and accessories when they're not in use. It's going to keep them up out of the dirt, out of the mud. It's also been ergonomically designed to make it very easy to pick up and carry your tank around. The handle itself is made from CNC machined billet aluminum, features a great looking black finish here that's going to protect it, and it looks great. In addition to that, there are some accessories that you can add on, like billet aluminum valve handles, to allow you to customize your tank even farther. And finally, the last but definitely not least, one of the most important components in the system here is the regulator on top of every power tank system. Now, one thing that is worth noting with this Power Grip handle here, it's been designed to protect that regulator in the event of a fall up to 4 feet. In fact, Power Tank requires that handle to be in place anytime the regulator is installed on the tank to honor the warranty. Now, this happens to be the HP 250i regulator. There is another model available, the HP 400i, that is capable of outputting slightly more pressure at a higher CFM. It's also capable of recharging and tuning nitrogen shocks with an adapter. But the HP 250i is going to be the most popular regulator that most of you out there are going to use. And this one is capable of outputting up to 250 PSI at 40 CFM. That's a very high flow rate that's going to allow you to run those air tools at full power, as well as allow you to quickly and easily air up your tires. In addition, both the 250 and 400i regulators have been designed specifically for use with compressed CO2 to ensure that they won't freeze up under use. Now, at the bottom of each regulator, they do feature a quick disconnect coupler, allowing you to quickly and easily attach an air hose of your choice. Now, this happens to be Power Tank's Superflex cross-braided hose that features a working pressure of 400 PSI and a burst pressure of 1200 PSI. And as you can see, it's coiled up into a nice compact hose, but it will stretch out all the way up to 30 feet, allowing you to reach all of your tires while you're airing up your vehicle without having to continuously move around your power tank. Now, to adjust the pressure that's being output from your regulator, we've got a nice, large, easy-to-use knob on the side of the regulator here that allows us to quickly and easily change the output pressure, with our gauge here on the bottom indicating safe zones for running lockers, air tools, and finally for airing up our tires. The gauge at the top is going to indicate our tank pressure, again with clear and easy to read markings for normal pressures as well as dangerous high pressure zones that we need to be aware of with the tank. Now, finally, at the other end of our Superflex hose here, we have Power Tank's Super Coupler. It is a universal coupler that's going to allow you to quickly and easily attach a variety of different air tools, whether they be tools you have laying around the shop or Power Tank's tire inflators. Now, one of the really nice things with the Super Coupler here is it actually features a release valve built right into it. So once we attach our tool, we slide that black collar into the up position. You can hear that. Now we've got pressure. And to remove the tool back from the Super Coupler, we first slide that collar down, releasing the pressure from our air tool, allowing us to safely and easily remove our tool without any excess pressure being at our fitting here. Now, finally, I wanted to take the opportunity while we have this all set up with our tire gauge. As I mentioned earlier, one of the great things of a power tank is not only the variety of things that you can do with it, but just how quickly you can air up your tires. So we have the Jeep behind me here with a set of 40-inch tires that we've aired down to 10 PSI. I'm gonna get the system set up and show you just how quick we can air those back up to 25 PSI. So we've already got our power tank set up here, and we've got our regulator set in the safe zone for airing up our tires. Now, for example here, we have a Nitto Trail Grappler. It happens to be a 40 by 1350 R17 size tire. Now, we've already got our tire aired down to 10 PSI. We can connect our air gauge, and we can verify here that we've got 10 pounds of air in that tire. I'm gonna grab a stopwatch, and we're gonna start it. I'm gonna show you just how quickly we can go from 10 pounds back up to 25 pounds in this tire. As you can see, we're up here to 25 pounds of air in under 50 seconds, and that was with checking the pressure a few times along the way. You can see just how quickly we can inflate even a very large 40-inch tire. A huge benefit to airing up at the end of a day on the trails with a power tank versus really any other air source out there. Now, if you guys have any comments or questions about the power tank system, any of the components that make up the system, or how to use it, you can always leave those for us in the comment section below, or contact us directly at any of the options on the screen. You can click on that info button, head over to quadratech.com to purchase a power tank system to keep in your Jeep, and you'll definitely want to hit that subscribe button so you're sure to catch all of our latest product reviews. Till next time, I'm Rob. I'll see you guys out on the trails.